Warning, this video is for comedy purposes only, and as such, should not be taken too seriously. Yup, his existence is still a state secret apparently. Oh well, I'm sure no one saw him fly up into the air after he left or anything. I've just got to say it's a little weird to see him physically drooling whilst taking pictures of children. Now that's the really creepy way to say it, but we still know he's only wanting his students to find love. For some reason anyway. So it's nothing too weird, but it's still weird enough to sin.
超生物とか殺し屋としてじゃなく、先生としての殺先生に憧れの視線を向けていたのを見てきたから。
That's an example of an admiring look. That to me looks like a bored kid listening to his lesson. I think they went ahead and put the wrong facial expression on him if they wanted to show admiration in his face.
私ね、カラスマ。万が一地球が滅びてもいいんじゃないかと思ってる。ガキどもにとってはね。
Yeah, that makes complete sense if you think about it. I mean, they're kids, so why would they want to actually go on living in the world? If you think about it, my attempt to drown them earlier on in this season was just like a nice thing to do. Don't you agree? Fucking no. What the hell kind of dumbass statement is this?
殺せなかったら殺せなかったで、挫折感や喪失感はどこかに残る。
Or maybe they'll be happy that they saved him, which is their actual goal now for the past couple of episodes? So where the hell have you been since they decided to do that?
自分たちの手の届かない巨大な暗殺になすすべなく他人が殺されたら、あるいは愛憎にまみれた暗殺者の手で残酷で苦痛に満ちた恩師の死を見せつけられた。
And again, unless they save him? Has this woman been on annual leave or something and no one has filled her in on what's happened?
お前には向いていない。
なんですって。
お前は情が深すぎる。この1年で致命的に深くなった。生徒にそれだけ情を感じるようでは、以後の仕事は辛くなるだけだ。
Okay, what the actual fuck? Now because he's saying that he doesn't think she's cut out to be an assassin, she just thinks, you know what? All that love I have for you has once again gone out the fucking window, and now my only option in life is to murder you right here, right now. This is so dumb. But guess what? I bet he's going to forgive her and pretend like this never happened in a few minutes' time. Well, I'm not. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and give this 5 sins for stupidity right now.
だ通りだ。
Who the hell ever told her that a man and woman living under the same roof is immoral? I think what she means to say is that a man and woman living under the same roof who aren't married is immoral. Now that'd make more sense. It'd still be BS, but it'd make more sense in general.
さて、これで校内での写真は十分でしょう。ちょっと待て!
I can understand him being incredibly fast and thus being able to procure certain kinds of items that normal people wouldn't be able to find, but this takes the piss a little bit. Man, this anime is also making good use of the old exhale and then inhale cliche. Just hope it doesn't quite reach the heights of the cliche we won't even bother naming unless we absolutely have to. You know the one.
辺りには傷一つついていないだろう。これが対触手生物透過レーザー衛星、通称天の矛だ。
Dude, just bloody call it the ATCPLS. It even kind of rolls off the tongue too.
陸亀をベースにした反物質生物をエネルギー源に、さらに巨大な粒子加速器で増幅し、高度400キロからレーザーを発射する。
Why is he explaining what it is and how it works to the guys working at the facility who just used it and likely know exactly what it is and how it works already? I know it's really for us viewers, but still, maybe they could have made him explain it to someone who doesn't already know what it is.
山全体を覆うバリアを形成する。
これは。
This dude is still continuing to explain what they're using and how they're using it and what it does and why it does it to a room full of people using it who probably built the bloody thing in the first place.
逃げ場はゼロだ。
What camera is taking that footage from that height?
第二者重点まで
あと1週間かかります。
悟られないよう 20% の出力で撃ったのが災いしたな。
Logic would therefore dictate that you'd have just used the Shield of Earth thingy so he can't escape and then used the Spear of Heaven thingy to kill him. But I guess now this means our brave little heroes have a chance at saving him.
ご覧ください。あちらにいるのが怪物の教師に脅されていた生徒たちでしょうか。
We are assuming based on literally no evidence which points to that fact in the slightest. Because it's so unheard of for kids to go check out the giant orange shield over an entire mountain. Thus it has to be the children that were threatened.
いつ爆発するかもしれない先生に1年間も支配していた気持ちは。
の真似事を強制されていた件については。
てめえらの知ったこっちゃねえんだよ。
If the government is saying they've only just found out about Koro-sensei today and then they took action against him, then how is it that the press heard he was forcing them to do anything before that very day? I'm also going to sin that they're already broadcasting live like this, and have even included a banner stating "A Year of Fear, Student Scarred," when, as I stated just now, they don't even have a clue if these are just a bunch of random kids. It's pushing the story forward a little bit too quick, and sadly a couple of plot holes opened up underneath.
そう言えってあの怪物に言われていたの。辛かったでしょ。もう正直に言っていいのよ。怪物はこんな痛いけな子供たちを人質にしていたのです。
In typical annoying anime fashion, this young girl spoke up to tell the truth, and once her words got twisted, she just looked onwards blankly, rather than simply interrupting or answering at the time and saying, "Listen, you got it wrong, completely wrong, now listen to me and I'll tell you the truth." That's always kind of bugged me. You had the confidence to speak up once, some of the class have a ton of confidence, but they just stare onwards.
かわいそう。何もわからない子供たちになんてかわいそうなことをさせるやつなの。
どうして僕らが同情されているんだ。
Well, because the leaders and bosses up top are telling the media that you're all victims. Did he somehow not pick up on that whilst they were talking to the media? I mean, if they are saying, "How does it feel to be safe now you're not hostages anymore?" then logic would thus dictate that someone else said they're victims. That's why they're pitying you.
政府は今日まで準備を進めてきた最終手段を発動したんだ。
最終手段？あのバリアのことですか？
No, the one where they plan to slip him a cheeseburger filled with sleeping tablets and then set their new anti-teacher cats with tentacles after him. Yes, the barrier, genius.
1週間後、大出力のレーザーが奴を殺す。
そんな、俺たちの暗殺は？
That was called off. Remember? This whole boss battle for the kids on the mountain was absolutely brilliant. I was loving every minute of that fight, and it just got better and better. For that fight, I absolutely have to remove a sin.
ハッピーバースデー。
いや、柳沢。
Since I can tell already that this is going to get emotional as hell before too long, I'll go ahead and call this here a neutral sin, even though we had two saying someone's name cliches. I think it's only fair.
彼がそのタコから死神の名を奪った男だ。
I thought the idea was that this dude was arrested or something after he was beaten all that time ago, or did they literally just go and leave him down there?
前は顔だけだったのに全身が化け物になってんじゃねえか。
そのタコと同じ改造を施しただけさ。
And how did he know where to get them? How did he track you down, and how did he know it was actually you under the mask that needed tracking down in the first place? No? Okay.
妹とはわけが違う。想像できるだろうか。
Is there a great need for him to continue using the hood even now everyone knows who he is? Or is it more of a stylish choice now?
安全で完璧な兵器だろう。
Why is no one trying to kill this douchebag once and for all?
そう思うのかね。
おい、あれって。
まさか。
命などもうどうでもいい。
See? This is why you should have killed him, or at least knocked him out before now.
教師の鏡だな、モルモット。自分一人なら逃げられるだろう、この攻撃を。生徒を守るために正面から受けるとはな。
And of course, these fucking idiots, even with all their training and knowing how they're just getting in the way, continue to stand around when by now they could have been heading towards the barrier. A barrier which neither of these douchebags can exit through. This kind of annoys me. Even if you use the "their children" angle, you're still left with them being highly trained assassins who should at the very least know how to quickly react to a changing situation in one of the best ways possible. Okay now, for the record I ignore the previous 4 times that this "just saying his name" cliche occurred, but now I think 4 times is quite enough for me to say that there really should be something worth saying instead of his bloody name over and over again. So my enjoyment shield is dropped and I'll be adding 2 sins again for each occurrence of this cliche. 2 minutes have gone by in which these kids could have been making their way towards the barrier, but of course standing around and saying "Kono sensei" every few minutes has its perks as well. Guys, seriously, get the fuck outside of the barrier. I get that they're amazed at what's happening, but when they just said "let's run away," I figured they'd actually run away and not just go like 100 feet away. Wow, what a bloody episode that was. I mean, that truly had it all for me. That tragic moment when the death of a student comes so out of the blue, and then Koro Sensei's final attack, then finishing out with him saving her life was absolutely brilliant. For this superb episode, I'll remove 2 sins, and I know that might not seem like a lot, but I get the feeling there'll be more before the end. Not a single sin here in the slightest. Instead, I was met with a huge amount of emotions and a truly sad ending, with the final moment of Koro Sensei being the most heart-clenching feelings I've felt in a long time. When I started this anime, it was simply one I wanted to get done as quickly as possible. It was picked by the patrons, and I'd heard about it before, but it meant nothing to me. After glancing at it a few times, I was sure it would be one I wouldn't care about. Then the second half of season 1 ended, and I started to feel myself getting attached, and now I finished season 2 in floods of tears, having lost a character I'd always assumed was a big bad guy somehow. I felt his warmth towards his students, and theirs right back at him, and I really felt touched. His final moments had me shedding tears, but when he was gone I truly cried alongside the students for their loss. For this episode, and for how great it was and how it made me feel, I'll be removing 10 sins. I know a lot of you sometimes throw around lots of numbers, like this should have had 1000 sins removed, but I have to stay loyal to the process. If you are ever interested in an anime in which I removed even more sins than this, then check out Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, my favourite ever anime. Well, I guess it's time to start sending the final episode. Let's do this.
浅野くんの硬い頭じゃ全部理解は難しいかな。
おら、お前が最後だ。
For the final time. That's what she said. Once again, an amazing episode that had both laughter and emotions in excess. It's one of the few times that an anime has, in my honest opinion, summed up every plot and made a true end, leaving nothing important uncovered. It's sad, but it makes for one of the best endings when things are put to rest so completely. I guess this is why there was some anger about bringing back Code Geass, but I have high hopes for that series personally. I want to take this time to thank all of you for joining me on this journey. All in all, it's taken me around 90 to 95 hours to finish the entire project within these neat 8 parts. But it's been a ton of fun. If you guys want to thank me for the hard work, please be sure to consider doing a few small things, and then when I've said them, I'll finish up with removing some sins. I'd love it first and foremost if you'd like this video and maybe leave a comment below. It's also a huge aid if you share it on social media if you enjoyed it. Next up, it'd be lovely if you'd help me get towards 5,000 Twitter followers. Over there I try and make you laugh too, but I also post pictures of my animals and such. You can do it by following me at The Honest Gamer, but I'll leave a clickable link at the top of this description below, and I'll make it clickable on mobiles, iPads and desktop and all that. Finally, YouTube is my job, but the funding has gone through the floor due to the ad boycott from March, and it's made doing my job very difficult. You can help by donating a very small amount over on my Patreon page. I'll put a clickable link to that too at the top of the description. Just a $3 per month pledge allows you to suggest and ultimately vote on every single new series covered across all of my channels. So please consider helping if you want to ensure a future for what I do here on YouTube. Okay, so with all that said, let's go ahead and remove another 5 sins for a brilliant end to a brilliant anime and a final farewell to Koro Sensei. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next series.
Give me 20. No! Better.
Mama.